Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Let's talk a little about how classic literature can surprise us with really important life lessons, the kind of life lessons that are just as relevant today as they were when the books were written. In this video, I'm sharing with you 5 surprising life lessons from classic literature that might possibly reshape the way you think about these great novels, and also about some of the challenges of everyday life. Let's get started. Lesson 1. Empathy from To Kill a Mockingbird. First up is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. One of my favorites. If there's one major lesson this novel teaches, it's empathy. And who better to teach this important life lesson than the iconic Atticus Finch? Atticus Finch, the father figure in the novel, famously tells his children, "You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view, until you climb inside of his skin and walk around in it." With this, Atticus Finch emphasizes the importance of understanding another's perspective. He teaches young Scout that moral insight comes from seeing the world through someone else's experience before making judgments. Through the eyes of Scout Finch, To Kill a Mockingbird explores themes of racial injustice, moral growth, and empathy. The novel's portrayal of a deeply divided society and finding the courage to stand up for what is right resonates with readers across generations. Lesson 2. Self-reflection from Crime and Punishment. Next we have Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky, another personal favorite. Now, this novel might seem like a dark exploration of guilt and crime, but at its heart, it's about self-reflection. The protagonist, Rodya, as his mother calls him, commits a crime and spends the entire book grappling with his conscience. He tries to justify his actions, but soon realizes that no matter how much he tries to rationalize, he can't escape the inner torment. Through Raskolnikov, we see how important it is to face our moral dilemmas head-on. We're encouraged to reflect on our own actions, thoughts, and motivations. Crime and Punishment teaches us that true peace comes from self-awareness, accepting responsibility, and facing the consequences of our actions. Lesson 3. Resilience from Jane Eyre. Then we have Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, which offers one of the most inspiring lessons in resilience and moral integrity. Jane Eyre faces adversity throughout her life. She's orphaned, mistreated by her family, and later heartbroken by Mr. Rochester. But she never gives up. She stays true to herself and shows incredible strength in the face of hardship. I think what makes Jane's resilience so powerful is her sense of self-worth. Even when others treat her poorly, she never allows herself to be defined by their cruelty. Throughout the novel, she stands up for herself, asserts her dignity, and refuses to compromise her principles. She resists the harsh treatment at Lowood School, and she also turns down a marriage proposal that would have suffocated her independence. To thrive is amazing, and to thrive with integrity is even better. Jane's resilience is rooted in her moral compass and her belief in justice. She challenges societal norms and pushes back against the limitations placed on her as a poor, orphaned woman. Her decision to leave Mr. Rochester after discovering his secret, despite her love for him, shows how strength comes from knowing when to walk away from situations that threaten our values. Jane Eyre shows us that it's not just about resilience, but also the courage to make difficult choices to protect our own well-being. We live in a world where we often feel pressured to conform or compromise for the sake of others. Jane Eyre encourages us to hold firm to who we are. The novel resonates with us today because we know that resilience is closely connected to self-respect and personal growth. Lesson 4. The Dangers of Conformity from 1984. George Orwell's 1984 offers us a chilling warning about the dangers of conformity. The novel shows us a dystopian society where individuality is suppressed and critical thinking is practically outlawed. Can you imagine? The protagonist, Winston Smith, slowly realizes how dangerous it is to blindly accept the rules imposed by a totalitarian regime. This lesson resonates today as we navigate our own world of mass media, social pressures, and let's face it, sometimes overwhelming groupthink. With Orwell's work, we can see the importance of independent thought and the courage to stand against what we know is wrong, even when it's difficult to do so. The concept of doublethink, where people are forced to accept two contradictory beliefs at once, shows how dangerous it is when truth is manipulated by those in power. 1984 shows us how blindly accepting what we're told without question leads to the erosion of personal freedom and integrity. In this novel, the very fabric of reality is controlled, and citizens are kept in a state of ignorance. This is a dire warning about the consequences of surrendering our ability to think critically. In today's world, where information spreads rapidly and social pressure can dictate what's considered acceptable, Orwell's message feels eerily relevant. 1984's message is to remain vigilant, to question authority when needed, and to value our individuality. This novel speaks loud and clear to tell us that personal freedom depends on our willingness to resist conformity, even when it's uncomfortable. Lesson 5, Simplicity from Walden. Finally, we have Walden by Henry David Thoreau. Thoreau's reflections on life by the pond aren't just about solitude, they're about simplifying our lives to focus on what truly matters. He stripped his life down to the basics and found fulfillment not in material possessions, but in nature, contemplation, and mindfulness. Thoreau believed that modern life had become too complicated, filled with unnecessary distractions that pull us away from what's truly important. By living simply and embracing the natural world, he discovered a deeper sense of purpose and inner peace. His message for us is to pause, reflect, and find joy in the smaller, quieter moments of life. In a world where we're constantly bombarded by distractions, Walden is a reminder to declutter our minds and homes to reconnect with what matters most. So there you have it, 5 surprising life lessons from classic literature that can enrich our lives today. From empathy and resilience to the importance of self-reflection and simplicity, these timeless books have so much to teach us, no matter where we are in life. I hope these lessons inspired you to pick up one or all of these classics, or at least to think about them in a new way. If you have any other life lessons from literature that resonate with you, please leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear about the novels, authors, and characters you've learned life lessons from. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Until next time.